This is CallVault, the future of call monitoring for improved telephonic services. What inspired the creation of CallVault?
Most customer PBXs support call recordings already, but accessing those call recordings after the fact is usually challenging. People need to access those call recordings sometimes years after the fact. So we needed to create an environment where people could log in and access those call recordings and just be able to get to that information very quickly. Once that was in place, we also realized that the information in the call recordings is just as important as the call recording itself. So we decided that we should be able to analyze those call recordings, and we use the AI or the CallVault BI system to do that.
What is CallVault AI and BI?
AI, artificial intelligence, we use AI, artificial intelligence, to actually analyze the calls, and BI, that's business intelligence, and that is the reporting, the CallVault reporting based on the AI.
How compatible is CallVault with PBX systems in the market?
All right, so you obviously want to have a system that is compatible with as many PBXs as possible. The reason for that is if you want someone to use your system, you don't necessarily want them to have to change their entire phone system. So the CallVault works with an agent that gets installed on the PBX system or the location of the call recordings. The agent makes a secure tunnel to our servers, basically takes the recordings once they've been done, and then securely transfers them to our servers, where the calls are then encrypted, saved, and analyzed for the information.
What does the AI do in call analysis?
So the artificial intelligence actually reads the call recording, and then it analyzes what was said, transcribes the entire call recording, and then it can categorize those calls based on business categories, products, that kind of thing.
How does CallVault help if something goes wrong in the call?
The system sends you proactive notifications. If something goes wrong during a call and it meets certain parameters, preset parameters, it sends a notification to management or a supervisor. It contains the transcription of the call as well as the sentiment of the call and why, like a description about why this call was flagged. This means that business can look at their customer support and proactively deal with problems as they come up. Sometimes a problem is not escalated to a manager, and the customer would then just walk away or cancel the service. In this case, you would know something is going on way before it actually gets escalated by a human.
What happens once CallVault screens a call?
It's not just with regards to an upset customer. You would want to know if someone discusses something. So you can set up keywords or phrases, like for example, if you're launching a new product, the product can be flagged. So if someone mentions a product or mentions it in a sentence, those calls can also be flagged and passed on to a manager, so they know, okay, this product was discussed in this situation. This is something that needs my attention.
What screening parameters are available in CallVault?
Yeah, these parameters are all configurable. So the products, the business categories, as well as the sentiment and at what sentiment rating the notification would have been sent out.
What makes CallVault intuitive for users?
A lot of work went into actually creating a very intuitive web interface. We didn't want to make the web interface very cluttered. So it's very simple and easy to use. You can see all your call recordings and the analysis of the call recording, as well as the categories and the sentiment is all clearly visible in one place. It is easy to share call recordings, view call recordings, everything is logged. So from that perspective, it's a very intuitive interface to use, and not much training is required for a new customer.
How will CallVault transform a business?
It actually transforms your entire business. Once artificial intelligence actually reads your calls, transcribes the calls, and analyzes what actually happened in the call, business can take proactive measures. You can check, like I said earlier, you can check for bad sentiment, discussions on specific products or phrases, and just highlight problems in your organization.
How does CallVault redefine data analytics and add value to call recordings?
The fact that CallVault BI has already analyzed the call and saved the call with all of that data, it means that business can now report on that data. So you can see how many sales calls, how many support calls were there, and what is the sentiment of these calls. Also, if you have a specific product, the calls are categorized per product, so you can see how many support calls per product, how many sales calls per product. So it just basically transforms the way that business is able to view their call data. And this information was not available to the average company.
What future developments can we expect from CallVault?
So there's a lot of changes coming, and I don't want to give away too much at this stage. But one of the big things we will be reporting on next year is an outcome-based report. So in the way where we could have sales calls categorized by product, we could also categorize those calls by outcome, for example. So that's one of the big features coming next year.
How does CallVault BI enhance the user experience?
The proactive notification makes a big difference here. Customers expect a lot more of business these days, and managers need to proactively respond to customer needs before the customer actually needs to do anything from their side. So if you have an upset customer, you would want someone to contact them before they actually have to do an escalation. So it just takes your customer service to that extra level. And then from a sales perspective or from a business perspective, we had an example where we actually had a keyword being monitored of a certain product that we launched. A reseller called in over a weekend and they spoke to a support technician. They wanted more information about the product. Support technician, being in support, did not have that information and said that they would get someone to call them back on Monday. They put the phone down, another call came in and they forgot to log that on the CRM. Monday morning came in, a manager picked up that call due to CallVault, and they were able to contact that reseller and make a sale that would otherwise have gone missing or would have been lost.
How is CallVault different from other call recording solutions?
Traditionally, these kinds of features were only available to really, really large call centers or very, very big corporates. And it was just too expensive for the average business to use. The thing that differentiates CallVault is it brings you all of those features and functionality and just kind of makes it available to the average business. So it's no longer just a nice to have. It becomes a necessity if you really want to up your customer service.
How does CallVault help business owners?
Many small business owners are out on the road actually trying to build their business. So they're the guy out on the road busy doing the sale. They want to know that their support team back at the office is actually looking after their customer. With CallVault, they know what their customers are experiencing and they can get proactive notifications if something does go wrong, so they can retain their customer base and just grow from there.
How can we get hold of CallVault?
Just go to callvault.co.za and click on About Us and we'll contact you straight away.
Don't just stay in tune with your customers, get ahead of their needs with CallVault.